Today I've got some LED rock lights from Nilight. I'm gonna put these on my golf cart. Let's see what's in the box. Looks like my controller. So this is the Bluetooth controller that you control with your phone. Power we wire to our battery or to our fuse. And then this goes out to all four corners. It's one rock light per wheel. Here's the actual light, and it's RGB, so you can make a bazillion different colors. Plastic housing, long wire, and it looks like we have some little waterproof connectors that easily go in there and screw on and keep the water out. Here's some different mounting options. Let's see what we got. We've got these nice rubberized plates with some mounting hardware. Probably mount this up on the wheel well. We'll have to go look at the golf cart and see. So we've got 4 lights and our controller. Let's download the app real quick. Open up the camera, scan the QR code. Takes you right to the App Store, on iPhone at least. Click the download button. Hit open, give it access to Bluetooth, and it just auto-discovered my lights. I'm not sure how that worked, but it was super easy. So here's an overview of my golf cart and how we're gonna mount the controller first. So first thing is I'm gonna mount the controller up on this sidewall like that. This controller, we're gonna give it 12 volts. I think it goes all the way up to 30 volts, but we're gonna do 12, and here's why. So this is a 48 volt golf cart with a 48 volt lithium battery pack. I have a 12 volt reducer which converts that to 12 volts and then feeds this fuse panel that I already have set up here. I have a blank spot right here up front where we're gonna attach our rock lights, and it allows it to be fused, and this controller right here is actually switched off and on with this toggle switch under here. So I can switch it off and on. That's one important thing you need to do with this controller is do not connect this directly to a 12 volt battery. You need to have a switch and a fuse in between. I think it pulls a little bit of current even if the lights are off, and it'll run your battery dead. So be sure to do those two things. So the first thing we need to do is crimp on some of these little ring terminals so that we can easily screw it down to our fuse block there. Now we simply screw down the positive terminal, which is red, to where our blink fuse goes. And then we take the black one, which is negative, and put it with all our other negative wires on the fuse block. So we're going to mount the controller right here on this wall. Before we do that, we're going to clean the backside of this and the inside of the golf cart with a little bit of alcohol to make sure this double-sided tape sticks.
So we're going to size the fuse at 5 amps. Here's why I chose 5 amps first. Each light is 9 watts. 9 times 4 lights is 36 watts in total. It's going to be powered off 12 volts, so 36 divided by 12 means we should be pulling about 3 amps. We'll test that once we get them on there, but for the meantime, we're going to try a 5 amp fuse.
And we'll plug in our 5 amp fuse. There we go.
So these rock lights come with 2 different back plates. This one is rounded to mount on a roll bar or something with some curve in it. This one is flat to probably go in your fender well. On the front side, you have a couple different ways to do the wire. You can do flat side, just push it in here, and the wire tucks neatly into the channels where it comes out the side or out the bottom. Or you can do through hole mounting, but first you got to feed the end of the wire through pull it through really quick. And then it just kind of tucks up under there, and then you mount with those 2 screws. So let's go under the golf cart and figure out exactly where we want to mount these.
I just plugged one in temporarily. Man, you can really see how bright they are. So I spent a little time trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to mount them. Had to make sure I could run the wires, had to make sure they wouldn't fall down, had to make sure I had a secure place to mount them, and then I also spent a little time figuring out where I liked the best light pattern. I didn't want to cast too much shadow from the wheels or from the frame or from the shocks or anything like that, so I just kind of held them in a couple different spots to figure out exactly where I wanted to put them. So the front lights are going to mount up here. Put the nuts right under this floor mat here. And they're going to mount under here to the frame. So we're going to drill a hole through here, but not through the floor mat. To install the light, first line up the wire with the back of the rubber pad so it all fits in there. Then put your screws in. From there, the process is pretty much the same in all 4 corners. Drill your 2 holes, put your screws through, put your nuts on top, and tighten it down. Tighten up your Allen screws on the bottom. They don't need to be super tight, just make them snug. Now feed all the wires through so we can route them back to the controller and hook them up. To connect them, line up the 2 arrows on each end of the wire and push them together. Then you can take the little threaded barrel and screw it on. Okay, thank you. I ran all the wires over to the controller and did some decent cable management. While we're waiting for it to get dark so we can go drive the cart at night and see the lights, let's measure the current. As you can see here, it's using just under 1 amp for all the lights on the brightest setting. Not too bad. Let's go drive this thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. The links to everything I used in this video are in the description, and I'll see you on the next video.